Hi friends, kamusta? So welcome back. I know that currently you are applying for student permit, work permit, or even permanent residence. But for today's video, we will be talking about how you can sponsor your parents, grandparents, and even your siblings. Well, most of us, that is our main goal, to be a permanent resident in Canada and to be with our family members, including our parents, grandparents, and even our siblings. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Jason Jim and I am making videos about international students, workers, and even residents here in Canada. So don't forget to click the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I also suggest to hit the notification bell so that you will be updated every time that I post a video. I also recommend to watch until the end of the video as we will be tackling about the eligibilities of the sponsors and the family members to be sponsored, the process or how to apply for this program, the income required for the sponsorship, the forms that you need to be submitted, and lastly, the fees for this application. So don't miss that. Alright, so as early as now, if you really wanted to be with your family here in Canada, you must know how to sponsor them. And the good thing is, we have a new program for your parents, grandparents, and even your siblings. And that is what you call the Parents and Grandparents Program. So let us now talk about the eligibilities to sponsor. Alright, so the first eligibility is you must be at least 18 years old to sponsor. So it means to say that the legal age for you to sponsor your parents, grandparents, or even your siblings, you must be 18 years old and above. The second eligibility is you are living in Canada. So the primary residential address must be in Canada when you submit your application until IRCC make a decision in your application. The third eligibility, you must be a Canadian citizen, a permanent resident in Canada, or a person registered in Canada as an Indian under the Canadian Indian Act. These are the only status for you to be eligible to apply for your parents and grandparents. But as I have mentioned earlier, if you really want to sponsor them, you must know these eligibilities and other requirements in the future so that you know and you are already prepared when the time comes and you are already eligible. Alright, so who are the people that can sponsor? The first one is if you are a temporary resident. So for example, if you are visiting, studying, or working in Canada on a visa or permit, you can't sponsor your family members. The second one is your permanent residence application is still in process. So it means to say that if you have submitted or you are waiting for the result or the decision from IRCC whether you are approved or not with your permanent residency, you are not still eligible to apply for the sponsorship of your family members. And the last is you must be at least permanent resident status in Canada at the time that you submit your sponsorship application. So again, if you are not PR or is still on process, you can't sponsor your family members. Okay, so for the last eligibility to sponsor is you have enough money to support the person or persons you want to sponsor. So this shows that you are able to support them or you have enough money to support them. And in addition, you also have to provide your proof of income or the POF. And for the required income to sponsor, we will talk about that later on. Alright, so we are now done with eligibilities to sponsor. But before we dig in, who can you sponsor? Let us talk about first the sponsorship agreement and undertaking. Okay, so as I have mentioned earlier, in one of the eligibilities, you need to show that you have enough money to support your family members. And these are the agreements on how you will support them. The first one is providing financial support. So it means to say that you will be supporting financially the sponsored family members for 20 years. So this will start when they become permanent residents in Canada. Okay, so the second agreement and undertaking, repaying any provincial social assistance. So the example of this is the money from the government. So it means to say that you need to repay any provincial social assistance from the government in which your sponsored family member get in that time as well. So the third one is you will provide basic needs of your sponsored family members. The examples of basic needs are the food, clothing, utilities, personal requirements, shelter, fuel, household supplies, and other healthcare that are not provided by public health, for example, eye or even dental care. And the last sponsorship agreement and undertaking is the person you sponsor will make every effort to support themselves and their family members. So it means to say that they can also support themselves, and also the sponsor will support them so that they will not be a burden in the government of Canada. Okay, so let us now talk about who can you sponsor. By the name itself of this program, you can sponsor your own parents and grandparents. Yes, you can sponsor them due to related by blood or even adoption. But in case of separation and divorce, you can still sponsor your parents or grandparents' spouses, common law partners, or conjugal partners. And the last is you can sponsor your brothers or sisters, including the half siblings. So it means to say that your brothers and sisters, they should be qualified as dependent children. And dependent children means they should be under 22 years old and they don't have spouses or even partners as well. For example, I have two younger brothers who are 25 years old and 20 years old. My brother, who is 25 years old, he is not qualified as dependent child, but the 20-year-old brother that I have, he is considered as dependent child of my parents. So those are the people or the family members that you can sponsor. Okay, so let us now go to the step-by-step process on how to apply for the PGP program. So the first step is fill out the sponsorship form. The sponsorship form is in the website of IRCC, and I will link in the description box so that you have an easy access of that form. Alright, so after filling out the sponsorship form, you need to validate and submit your form in that website because IRCC will be having a random selection, which is the second step. So it is like a lottery draw. IRCC will select 10,000 applicants, and you will know if you are selected if you will receive an email. So it means to say that they will send an email once you are selected. So make sure that you have a right email and it is in a correct spelling as well. Alright, so once you receive an email and you are invited, get the application package. Okay, so as you can see, these are the document checklists for you and the people you want to sponsor. So these are the forms that you and the people you want to sponsor need to fill out as well. And these are the instruction guide to help you and your family members how to fill out the forms correctly. So make sure that all of the documents and checklists are complete before submitting to IRCC. And I will also link in the description box for you to make sure what are the documents that you need to fill out. Alright, so after gathering the application package, the next step is pay for your application fee. Alright, so as you can see, here are the fees that you need to pay. So to sponsor your parent or grandparent, including the right of permanent residence fee, you need to pay 1,050 Canadian dollars. But if without the right of permanent residence fee, you can pay $550. Same thing if you will include the spouse or the partner of your parent and grandparent. You need to pay for 1,050 Canadian dollars. And if you will include a dependent child of your parent or grandparent, you need to add 150 Canadian dollars per child. And for the biometrics per family of 2 or more people, you will be paying for 170 Canadian dollars. Please note that this is the maximum fee for the family of 2 or more applying at the same time and place. Alright, so just a reminder with regard to the document checklist, you only have 60 days for you to submit all of your requirements. Alright, so as I have mentioned earlier, there is income requirement for those of you who want to sponsor your parent, grandparents, and also your siblings. Alright, so as you can see, this is the income required for 3 tax years right before the day you apply. So for example, you will be sponsoring your mother and father. So for 2 people in 2018, you must have a 40,000 annual gross pay. In 2019, you should have 41,000 in gross pay. And in 2020, if you have 32,000 as an income requirement, you can also sponsor your parents and grandparents. So you can check this table from 3 people to 7 people as well. So if more than 7 people for each additional person, you need to add this amount as well. So as you can see, from 2019 to 2020, the income requirement dropped down since many sponsors may have been affected by COVID-19 pandemic. The income requirement for the tax 2020 have been reduced to minimum necessary income. Alright, so let us now talk about the frequently asked questions about the parent and grandparent program, or the PGP program. So for the first question is, can I have a co-signer? Yes, if you are permanent resident and citizen in Canada, your co-signer should be your spouse and your common law partner only. The next question is, if I am refused, can I refund my application fee? The answer is yes. So the fees that you paid, you can refund. But the application fee, which is the 75 Canadian dollars, is non-refundable. But the rest, you can refund it. The next question is, how will I submit my application? Alright, so your requirements and even the documents checklist, you will be submitting it through mail or courier only. Yes, that is right. As I have mentioned earlier, you have 60 days to send your documents through mail and courier. But take note, no hand delivery. So you can submit your documents to this address. Alright, so the next question is, what will happen if I submitted incomplete documents? Alright, so once IRCC received your documents, they will check everything, and if it is incomplete, they will return it back to you. Again, as I have mentioned, you only have 60 days for you to submit all of your complete documents. And IRCC will be the one if they will be requesting to resubmit your documents or not at all. Alright, so for the last question, what is the processing time of PGP program? Alright, so the processing time of the parents and grandparents program is approximately 20 to 24 months. But I will link in the description box for you to know what is the specific time frame of processing for this application, because it really depends in the country. So check in the description box. Alright, so those are the information for you to know how to sponsor your parents, grandparents, or even your siblings. I really hope that this video helps you, for you to understand and also for you to prepare if you want to be with your family here in Canada. Again, I would like to remind you to check the document checklist package for you to know more all about the details, documents, and also the requirements that IRCC wanted you to submit to them. And the website for that is in the description box. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you liked this video. And don't forget to click the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I suggest to hit the notification bell so that you will be updated every time I post a video. Thanks again, my name is Jason Jim. See you to my next video. Bye!